and the power plant.
It's gonna be fun. How come everyone's standing back? There are rivers flowing through the trails. What's going on, guys? We are building this Trailmaster mini bike for the Go Power Sports 180, a 3-hour endurance race in Texas.
That's right, and we're actually giving this mini bike away. So from now until December 18th, 2024, all orders placed on our website, CarsandCameras.com, are going to get you automatically entered to win this bike. MB200, upgraded tires, upgraded front and rear suspension, a Tillotson 225 racing engine that we cam swapped, we did head work. You'll see all of it in this video. So go to our website, CarsandCameras.com, pick up the OG Mini Mayhem shirt, pick up the new 2024-2025 Mini Mayhem t-shirt, one of our 2024 Christmas ornaments. There's a lot of great merch. It goes to support Cars and Cameras. They make great gifts, and it gets you automatically entered to win one of the best bikes we've ever built.
Yeah, this bike has been in 3 races.
Yep.
3 years.
Yep.
And I don't want to give it away, but we did pretty good this year.
That's right. We're having a bonus video this Saturday, the Go Power Sports 180 race. Be sure you're tuned in. We'll see you down in Texas. Let's start building the bike.
We have a whole engine to build, and you're over here dumpster diving?
Yeah.
Here you go. Here's a good platform.
Dude, I was wanting to see if we could get that running.
Yeah.
I
don't see why not.
Look, it's like brand new. It's probably one that they just rob parts off of. Look, probably don't even have oil in it. It's like brand new.
Yeah. You want to try to get that running if we have time?
Yeah. So what makes these tires defective, man? I mean, they look good to me.
I don't know if they're defective. But I think these are the same exact tires that go on the back of an old vintage Dingo.
Oh, yeah. Yep. So we have everything on the table needed to refresh our 180 race bike. And the beautiful thing about mini bike racing is that you can build an entire bike up to like the highest performance level for, I don't know, I'd say around $3,000.
My favorite part is it fits anywhere in a garage, in a closet, whatever. I mean, it's cheap to build and it doesn't take up a lot of room.
Exactly.
Look, it's on a table.
Yeah, bingo, with all of our new parts. So you might be wondering, why do we have a bunch of engine parts when our bike already has an engine on it? Well, we built this 236 after we failed to oil our air filter last year. And it's a really high performance engine, got a billet cylinder head on there, but it just kind of smells like oil.
Yeah, it's almost like the rings didn't get set right. Like, I don't know, Chevrolet had that problem back in the 50s where the cylinders weren't honed right or something, but the rings wouldn't set in. So we can do what they did. The shop fix was to pour Bonami, which is a cleaner, down in the cylinders with the car running, and it would hone itself running. So anyhow, we didn't have a great feeling on this engine, and we've always had great luck with the 225s, and they're pretty strong right out of the box. So that's why we're going with the 225. Just, it's an endurance race. It's
exactly.
Not really a horsepower race. It's an endurance race.
And this 236 is going to be awesome on a trail rig, a really fast trail rig. But we're building a fresh 225 that we're going to be swapping a new head onto, new camshaft, and more that we're going to talk about later. I'm going to link all these parts down in the video description from Go Power Sports if you want to check them out for yourselves. Let's get started. Zach is with us this year. He's going to be co-riding from North Carolina with us, and he's helping us build the bike. It's going to be his first time racing at the 180, so it'll be cool to get your impressions of how gnarly the track is.
Yeah.
It's impressive that anything can make it around this track.
It looks way different in person, rides way different in person than it looks on video. It's way harder when you're riding it.
You know what? At the end of this video, we're going to show you guys the track with a GoPro with the stability turned off to show them how rough it is.
You can do that?
Yeah.
Awesome.
So what are you working on, Ike?
I am working on porting and polishing the head. I'm gonna do the best I can with what we've got. We've got a already impressive head right here. This is the shredder head, and it's always good in racing to port match your intake and exhaust on the engine. If I don't know if you can see in there, but you can see the intake doesn't quite match up with the intake port on the head. So we're going to be grinding all of that smooth where it can just flow straight through with nothing in the way.
Minimal restriction.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. So that's what I'm working on.
Yeah. And the shred head it's awesome for people who like high flow on a budget.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't flow quite as much as a billet cylinder head, but it is much cheaper.
Yeah. Higher compression too with the combustion chamber.
Exactly. We got slightly oversized valves too. It's going to be a hot little head.
Yeah.
We're doing the ARC billet side cover. Not only does this look nice, it also adds additional stability on the side of your engine. Like Zach, just the other week at Mini Mayhem, you had side cover bolts come out of your engine.
Yep, completely come out.
Right, so this is gonna have studs. It's gonna be more stable because it's billet.
Yep.
And also it has better crankcase ventilation ports, so.
It's a lot better.
Yeah.
And it's pretty.
And it's pretty. It's one of those endurance mods. You ready to race this year, Rick?
Ready? Y'all ready?
Nope.
Nope.
Obviously.
Get in there.
Yeah.
We got a ways to go.
Get your practice laps in, guys.
That's
Practice
it.
laps for sure.
Not too many. We don't want to wear ourselves out.
No, I would get out there and just beat yourself to death. Is you know what I usually tell people: run the bike as hard as you can. That way, you know you're good to go for race day.
Is that what you're going to do?
No,
Oh, okay.
of course not.
So our shred head comes pre-assembled with dual 40-pound valve springs, which is the right spring rate for the race. Again, we don't want anything too heavy. We don't want to wear out the cam
Right.
in an endurance.
Plus, if you the engine has to press on those springs, which means the harder the springs are, the more horsepower it takes to rotate it.
Right.
So you got to get the right size spring for your application.
And you're taking this puppy apart because you're going to be porting this thing.
I'm port matching the cylinder head as well as opening it up a little bit. I'm not going to go too crazy because, you know, the valves are only so big.
Right.
But I'm going to open things up as much as I can because, well, we want plenty of flow. I don't think we need to go nuts because from what I hear, there's not a lot of high speed on
sections.
the track. So I don't need to go nuts with it.
And the power plant.
225.
The Tillotson 225 is a great performance engine right out of the box. You can slap this on your mini bike and go-kart and be going 55, 60 miles an hour if you want to gear it for that. But we're going to take it a step farther. So we're going to be adding substantial power to this thing as well as making some reliability mods so it can survive that 3-hour race.
Just figuring out the how much I need to port match on that.
Quite a lot.
Yeah.
So you can take the gasket from your header, place it up onto the port.
Yeah. What I like to do is I like to take the gasket and I like to port match it to the header. That way I know exactly what it looks like when it's bolted on. Then I port match on the head, and then if I want to go bigger on the head, I do that with the gasket, port match, and then I go back to the header and I just make sure I port match the header for that.
Yep.
So I kind of do it in steps.
Yeah. I think port matching is like, it does a lot for performance, and it's very DIY-able. If you have a good Dremel, send it, man.
Yep.
How are we looking?
It's a lot of material I'm removing. I always go a little bit overboard, but it hadn't bitten us yet that I know of.
Yeah.
We've always done pretty good. So I'm almost done with the intake. The port match wasn't quite right, so that's what all of this is. I had to port match it on the intake, and now we're gonna do the exhaust. The exhaust isn't so bad, but I've marked it there. I'm gonna open that up quite a bit and try to get it as smooth as possible.
You have any tips for your first porting?
Make sure on the intake you don't polish. That's a mistake a lot of people make. You polish the intake. What you want is like a rough finish. It helps with the atomization of the fuel into your combustion chamber.
And the other thing is make sure you don't nick where the valves actually seat,
Definitely don't do that. That'd be a bad day.
because you want to make sure those valves are going to seal up.
Yep.
So we're plucking the old engine out of our Trailmaster MB200. Still a great engine, just, I don't know. I don't want to count on it for 3 hours. In fact, this engine makes more top end power than the new one we're putting on. But again, this is about endurance and not highest power output. Ike is about done with the cylinder head, so I'm gonna tear this engine down so we can start putting it back together. Oh, hey man,
Hey dude.
you got that thing apart quick.
Hey man, when you've taken as many apart as us, you can get it done.
So the 225 comes with a forged rod, and you know, it might have been okay for the 180, but billet rod is just one of those durability modifications, kind of helping to bulletproof the setup.
Yeah.
And if you're building one of these engines, it's gonna be sustained high RPM. It's a great idea to drill out that middle hole you see down there. That's how oil returns to the bottom of the engine from the top end, and oil can actually kind of build up in the top of the engine at sustained high RPM.
Yeah.
So drilling it out helps oil return faster.
Yeah. All right, so we're ready to install the cam, but there needs to be some clearancing on this big camshaft with the rod. So let me do another rotation and then I'll pull it out and show you what I have done on this rod.
Yep, we're using the GPS 285 cam. Is the cam of choice this year. It's a great 4,000 RPM and up camshaft, so this thing is going to be aggressive.
So you just have to clearance here and some here. You don't want to go too much because you don't want to weaken the camshaft. It's gotta hold up to the valve train and all that stuff. So yeah, it's not too bad. Now you don't have to worry about this on every single engine. It's just you got to check on these high performance engines.
Yep, it's this and the billet rod is what you really need to spend your time on.
Yeah.
Be very particular. And you want to do your final check when you get the side cover on,
Yeah.
because that'll locate the camshaft and crankshaft. Sometimes things can move a little bit.
Yep. So this one's pretty good. We might have got away with it not clearancing. So you can see what I've done there. You can see what it looks like not done. So I'm going to grind off a little bit here, and then we're going to be ready for assembly, and hopefully everything's going to clear. Check out the difference in this cam. Look at this is the factory cam here in the left of the screen. And there's the performance cam. Look at the duration on the cam lobes. Holds the cam up, holds the valve open longer to allow more air and fuel to come in and out.
You're gonna hear that one.
Oh yeah, this one's gonna sound good.
It's gonna talk to you.
Yep.
Cool, man. Well, it's time for that to go in, right?
Yep. So I just needed those bolts in there to keep it from popping out on one side when I hammered hammered it in, so awesome.
Yeah, these ARC billet side covers, it's a good snug fit, and you'll probably have a hard time getting it on the first time.
Well, when I was setting up the backlat
End play.
crankshaft end play, I only put 2 of the pins in, and then when I bolted it on, it was a lot easier to get off. But once I put all 4 in, it's a chore to get this on and off. So when you're setting it up, I would just use 2 of the pins.
200 inch-pounds.
That's 200 inch-pounds, sir. Let me go. I did the stagger. Now I'm gonna just go around and count and make sure I didn't miss one.
Well, we decided to pull the bolts out and put a little bit of thread locker on there, but we got them reinstalled, retorqued, and we're spinning the engine over. Everything sounds great.
It's good.
Yep. So we can finally get the cylinder head on.
Yes, sir. Well, I guess I need to put the head on now.
Oh, yeah.
In the gasket. So, I'm pretty happy with the port and polish job on this, so we are ready to install the cylinder head. So we've got the old gasket right here that hasn't been run. It's never been fired up, so we're gonna reuse it. Oh, wrong way. There we go. Make sure that little oil drain right there lines up. All right, so we're gonna install the head studs. And you don't bottom these things out. You just kind of screw them in. And that's it. Stick these things in.
So you don't even go finger tight?
No, because I bet you. Here, we'll go finger tight and we'll stick the head on. And I'm wondering if the studs poke out. No,
No.
no. So you just screw them in until you get the desired length.
How do you figure the desired length?
Okay, so what I do is I just screw it in until you just have a couple of threads coming out of the end of the nut. That's what I do. Flashlight's going dead. So, wow. All right, so turns out that we had the wrong studs.
We had the side cover studs in the head.
We had the side cover studs. Same thread, amazingly. But we got our buddy heading over to the warehouse and picking up the head stud kit for this thing. And we're gonna install the studs because we want the best. We want the best, we want reliability, and that's what we're going with.
Yep.
Thanks, Mark.
Thanks, Mark. That's right. We're trying to get out to the track to start practicing tomorrow morning, and this is what we have. And it's about 6:30. We're good. Yeah, we got no other plans tonight. We're gonna just keep on jamming.
I had a date
With Whataburger?
with my bed, with the hotel room.
So we're still waiting on our head studs, but in the meantime, we can get engine oil in this thing. So we have 2 options here. We have Tillotson 4-stroke engine oil, and we have Tillotson brake-in oil. Because this is like a very important engine,
We're gonna use
one of the most
break-in.
important of the year, yeah, we're gonna do the proper recommended brake-in. So we're gonna use the brake-in oil first and get an easy lap or 2 in on it and change it. And I think for this engine, we're gonna fill it up to the threads on the side cover.
There's another drain hole.
We forgot one.
I forgot one.
Oops, let's find it. It is probably in this bag. That's funny. Sprung a leak.
I'm like the little Dutch boy right now. What else did we forget?
I don't know. We're gonna find out. So anyway, we're gonna fill this engine up until we see the oil at the threads, and then whatever it doesn't want, it's gonna push out through the vent, right?
Yep. Well, the reason why I say that is because, like, for the break-in oil, we don't have to do that. But for the race, I say we overfill it some just in case it uses a little bit of oil. Plus, the larger amount of oil, kind of the cooler the parts can be, well, until it gets really hot.
Well, and then you have issues with it
Like
frothing, right?
It's like a larger, well, only if you got it sewed full that the crankshaft starts beating it up real good, which the dipper does that. Have you ever heard the term, it'll be fine? It's gonna be fine. There it is. We are there, sir. Well, thankfully,
Mark came through.
Mark came through. We are saved. This is great.
Yeah, man, we can finally get the head on, get the thing installed, fire it up, wake up the neighbors,
Yes.
and go to bed.
Yes. So I'm lubricating the threads and the contact surface that the bolt,
Or the nut tightens too.
yeah, the nut tightens to. And the reason why I do that is it helps lubricate it and gives it a
More accurate torque.
exactly. So no washers with it. So the head gets torqued down to 20 foot-pounds. And I'm doing it in the X pattern, and I am also tightening it up in steps. Now I'm not doing it like the real accurate way of setting it to like 5, 10, 15, 20. I'm using my
Icrometer.
micrometer, yes. Click. 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 And click. And we're gonna go around again because sometimes it'll loosen.
And you know, the head stud kit was another one of those cheap insurance policies.
Yeah.
We could have used the regular bolts.
We could have, but I really like the stud kit.
Yeah, it's inexpensive in the grand scheme of
bad.
things. Yeah.
All right, so next thing we're going to be installing is our push rods. I already lubricated the points at the bottom,
The lifters.
the lifters.
These are chromoly push rods too.
Yes. So next thing we're going to be installing is our rockers, and they are somewhere. So we are adding some Loctite to our studs because we don't want them to back out. And we're gonna crank these things down in the head. Not too bad. All right, we are now installing the, what are these?
These are Champion rockers.
Champion rockers.
They're like another, I don't want to say budget part, because they're quality, they're go-tos. They're much cheaper than like the Gauge rockers.
Right.
But these are like solid, just really popular with like Paul Craft and, you know, PC Motorworks, builds tons of engines, loves these rockers. So they're good stuff.
Taylor's gonna be so mad about
mad about what?
the fact that we're using high-tack as thread sealant on this engine.
Couldn't find like the white.
We were looking
Gooey.
for the thread sealant and we couldn't find any. And what time is it tonight? It is,
I mean, it's 7:30, but we don't
yeah.
want to bother anybody.
and we're
Bothered
supposed to
enough
be
today.
we're supposed to be racing this thing or practicing with this thing tomorrow.
Yeah.
And we really didn't want to mess or bother anybody. And you know what? The high tack is gonna seal.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not ideal. I can't wait to see the look on his face. what is that? Why'd you do that?
Exactly.
So,
Man, you know we had the good stuff like right
Oh,
over
yeah.
here.
oh yeah.
Um,
Just checking the clearance. Make sure.
one more time.
Yeah. Got some compression.
Yeah, it does.
All right, so I don't feel any binding or anything. Dude, you can feel the extreme pressure coming out of these
Yeah.
when I turn it over. So we installed these brass nipples. What we're doing is we're sharing the pressure from the crankcase with the top end of the engine. And what it's gonna do is it's gonna let the air move back and forth as the piston goes up and down in the block. So it's kind of a free horsepower thing.
Another kind of reliability thing too.
Kind of is too. It keeps the oil from blowing out seals and all that stuff. So
Less pressure.
less pressure in there. So I'm thinking we'll just tie in one with a hose, and the other one we'll put a T in with a like a filter or something on the end of it.
Sounds great.
Yep. We're getting close, dude.
Yeah.
I'm thinking we can probably go ahead and start putting this on the bike.
Yeah, let's install it and then we can pile around it.
Yep. Go forward.
I can't, my hand is stuck.
All right, you good?
Yeah. There's one.
And go your way. All right, there we go. There's another.
Fresh power plant.
That is awesome.
Looks good.
I feel better already.
It is really cool having like a dedicated race bike. Like this thing's 3 years old and only has probably 15 hours on it.
But 15 hard hours.
Of the hardest hours.
Yes.
And it like just gets so many brand new parts every year. It's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, like if you were doing this with motocross, you'd be spending 10 times the amount.
Yeah. Well, what we do last year? We didn't put a new engine on it last year. We
might have, and then
We did
we
two
grenaded
seasons. We did 2 seasons on that engine.
You're right, we did.
Yeah.
So we're reinstalling this little plastic shield. Basically, it helps direct air from the fan on the flywheel over the bottom of the cylinder head.
Up the side too.
Yeah. So it's really nice to have, especially if you're pushing your engine hard. It's gonna help keep things cool. Got our crankcase vent hooked up. We need to run by the auto parts store in the morning, get a brass T that we can put in one of these so we can have our vent to atmosphere.
Yep.
Looking good. You okay?
Yeah. Fine. Thanks for asking.
We're reusing the tried and true super pipe.
Do we need to dimple it?
I don't know.
for
Let's
the
check it.
exhaust? Yeah, I think we need to just do a little dimple right there.
A little more dimple.
A little bit more.
Looking good.
Thank you.
I like the beat up exhaust look. Like you can tell this thing has seen some action. Yeah.
Yes.
And I checked it over for cracks. Everything seems great with it.
Good. Good. Is this the for the?
It is, yep, for the hanger.
Just want to have it in place. This time we're gonna not forget to oil our filter.
Yeah, that's super critical. Whether you're building a race bike or a cruiser, anything that is going to be exposed to dirt, you need to oil your filter. Because even these good ones let fine dirt in. But other than that, we're looking really good. We have a few things to button up in the morning, but we're going to hear this thing run tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we need a bracket.
We just gotta put that air filter on. And yes, sir. Got the rear brake hooked up. So yeah, I guess we need to take this thing off the table, put some gas in it, crank it up.
Yeah.
Not bad.
I think we're ahead of schedule.
You think so?
It's not 11 p.m.
We're not done yet, John.
I know. These fresh tanks, when they're new, they look so good.
Yes. How come everyone's standing back?
Don't worry. Don't worry.
Okay.
You got it.
Choke. On. How many pulls, guys?
2 to 3.
3?
3.
Oh.
So it's the end of the night. We got our engine halfway broken in. We still have some stuff to do in the morning, but it requires welding and this and that. It's late. We have all day to test tomorrow and Friday, but starting to get excited for the big race. Here in the engine run, everything's coming together, boys.
I think it's gonna perform pretty good.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
I want to see what our new star rider's going to do out there.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I'm feeling good.
Good. He's been practicing a ton. Zach comes in on Mondays and helps us out. And for the last few Mondays, probably 4 Mondays,
Yep.
he's been out there practicing. So,
Really?
yeah. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
We've had some rain come in this morning, so we're just adding a few last-minute pieces like side cover plates to protect the air filter from mud, other debris. Exactly. And then we're hitting the road. We've just been doing finishing touches all morning. You know, trying to get ready for a 3-hour race. You can't ever prepare too much.
For a 3-hour tour.
Exactly.
Oh gosh, I hope we didn't jinx ourselves. Sorry.
So we got about an hour and a half ride out to the ranch. It's time to get some practice in.
Yep.
All right. Off to the track to finish the break-in procedure and see how it handles.
You got it? Yep. Got her? Yep. It's all yours.
All right.
You getting excited?
Very excited. Nervous.
Where are you, Ike?
I'm right here.
You getting excited?
Yeah, I'm getting my helmet, my jacket.
Your crayons?
I already put those down because we're done driving.
I see. I
Yeah.
see. We're out here at the Go Power Sports Ranch for the Go Power Sports 180. So we have today as a practice day, tomorrow's a practice day. The race is on Saturday. It's been raining. It rained like crazy last night. More rain expected today. It's muddy. It's pretty deadly out there. But we need to get our engine the rest of the way broken in, so I think we're gonna send Ike out for a practice lap. Or Zach. I don't know, Zach is also looking good. I already crashed and hurt myself, so it's between you boys.
Which would you rather have, Zach? Maybe I ought to, since I like hear things.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Yeah. Way better. So let's get some gas in.
Yep. So we just need to run it at medium RPM for a lap, and then we'll get the oil changed and we'll be ready. Well, everybody say goodbye to our beautiful, pristine bike. But that's why we built it.
Yeah.
Zach's on the Megamoto 212 with the swing arm kit, aka the Megalodon. Have fun on the Megalodon, Zach.
Thank you, I will.
So it's hard to tell on camera, but there's some serious mud in the track this year. And it's drizzling right now, and it's supposed to come down even harder very shortly. So the race is gonna be interesting. Look at that. Struggling to get up the hill. Oh, he's coming down. Serious elevation. That's just a little sneak peek on how intense this race is going to be. 3 hours of terrain just like this with so far over 100 other teams. But we successfully rebuilt our endurance racing mini bike in just 2 days. Let's head back to the pits, change our oil, check over things, and we're gonna be ready. How'd you do, buddy?
I did good. The bike was cutting up a little bit, but it was a lot of fun.
Okay, on the couple of shots I got, you were squirrely.
Yeah, it was very squirrely.
How do you feel?
I feel good. It was just a little bit of getting used to this bike. But
Confident though?
yeah.
Good.
I don't think this is on.
It is.
It's frozen.
Oh, nice.
Probably didn't get anything.
We can go again. Dude, if you thought yesterday was bad, there are rivers flowing through the trails.
Nice.
Huge puddles, a lot of peanut butter mud. Don't you think? Peanut butter mud?
Oh, yeah.
And I think it's only going to get worse.
Chin. His chin and neck. All right. Well, you might need to go again if our camera crapped out.
Okay.
But dude, the bike is already trashed.
Engine oil out of our crankcase vent. So I guess it's pushing out what it doesn't want. I don't know.
That's what they're pumping. No. Yeah, that's
Crankcase
definitely
vent.
crankcase oil. Okay. All right, we got to figure that out.
We do.
Yeah.
Usually you look like this after the 3-hour race.
Dude, it's a lot of work out there. A whole lot of work. All that mud, it's like peanut butter mud. You're just skating around. So the majority of the time, I didn't even have my feet on the pegs.
Wow.
Yeah. Am I in the way? No, you're fine. Okay.
How much trust do you have?
I trust them. I trust them.
We're getting around to our brake-in oil change. It did push a ton out, and we're gonna be changing out our nipples from 1/4 inch to 3/8, and that should help with crankcase ventilation and prevent losing oil. But we're gonna measure how much oil is coming out of the engine as well. Make sure we didn't lose too much. Other than that, we need to come up with a new flap for the front, keep our engine from overheating, getting covered in mud, and we should be good to go. So we had 16 ounces come out of the engine. It's exactly what we wanted. But we're still making changes to the crankcase ventilation because it was pushing oil after 2 laps. So we want to make sure that after 3 hours, it's still going to have plenty of oil. So we're going from 1/4 inch to 3/8 barbs and hose on our crankcase ventilation, thinking that it'll allow more air and oil to flow through it back into the engine. But things are really filling up over here. We got Jeremy, just drove 20 hours from Colorado to come down here, ran into a snowstorm. People working on bikes, people riding around, and the weather is holding. Things are looking good.
All right. This seems like a great idea.
Yep, I'm gonna prevent our engine from overheating.
Yep. All right, let's get to the shop.
So we got a little mud flap action just to protect the engine, prevent overheating. And I think Zach is going to take it out this afternoon.
I want to get some time on it.
A little seat time. Right. So that wraps it up for this episode, guys. I'm going to leave a sneak peek for Saturday's bonus episode of the 180 race at the end of this video. Crazy conditions. It was a little hectic. The filming was at the end just because we were trying to adapt. I crashed a bike. It was rainy. It was muddy. It was crazy. So be sure you head to our website, CarsandCameras.com, and any merch you order is going to get you automatically entered to win this bike that we built in this episode. We're going to ship it to you if you're in the lower 48 United States. You can read all the rules on the website. It's a great way to support Cars and Cameras, get some quality merch, and get some great gifts for your friends and family. So if you're impressed by all the parts we put on this bike today, it could be yours. Again, Cars-Cameras.com. Giveaway ends Wednesday, December 18th. Thanks for watching. We'll see you Saturday. Enjoy the teaser. Woo!
Cars and Cameras, Isaac, John, and Zach. Let me tell you who the runner-up is. The runner-up is Stanley again.
What'd you just break?
Broke the bolt.
The rear brake bolt. The rear brake is now Bluetooth. The caliper is Bluetooth.
Yeah, right there.
But what's that? Where's the bolt?